What is going on, everybody? Today on Dylan Talks Tone, we're going to take this American Pro 2 Telecaster and we're going to cut it up just for fun. That's right. This is a perfectly good American Pro 2 Tele. We've already done a video on it. We're not going to do a before and after thing because we're changing it so drastically that it doesn't matter. You've heard what these guitars sound like all over the internet. They're really cool. I'll leave a link to everything that we're going to use in the video in the links below. This is not a sponsored video. However, I would like to thank my Patreon supporters for making a video like this possible because this is actually belongs to a Patreon supporter, and he bought this guitar and had it sent to me so that we could do these mods. So I guess in that way, it's sponsored by some of you. So thank you so much, as well as, of course, we use Patreon dollars to buy cool parts like what we're going to put in this guitar right now. So we're going to make this thing into kind of our version of, what do you want to say, like a Brent Mason kind of situation. And we've got some pickups here at Dylan Talks Tone that I think are going to be very, very cool. So I put together this pick guard. I ordered the pick guard from our pick guard supplier. We've got one of our Firebird pickups from Dylan Talks Tone. There will be a link to that in the description. And then we've got our middle pickup, like a Strat pickup, in the middle. And then we've also wound one of our flat sixes for the bridge, and we're going to put this thing in this guitar, and it is going to be sort of a Brent Mason-ish sort of setup, and I think it's going to be kind of fun. All these parts of the pickups are all available at Dylan Talks Tone. There is also a regular Nashville Tele set that we have available with the switching if you want to convert your Tele to a Nashville setup with the regular flat six neck pickup. So that's pretty cool. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the Seymour Duncan Hyper Switch. Now this might be a little bit of a trick. I got to figure out where to put the battery, but I think this is going to be an interesting setup so that we can set this switch up with the app to work with all three pickups and maybe some different pickup combinations and switching combinations. So let's get this thing apart and see what happens. I guess that settles that. I did not even think about this, and I should have. I'm kind of dumb for not thinking about it ahead of time, but a hyper switch will not go in a Tele because of the width, because of the terminal block. And you cannot really route a Tele wider because of the way the control plate works. So, we couldn't come in here with a Dremel and make more room. That would not be practical. Because it would show. So I guess you can't use a hyper because it has to be centered like this. So it would have to come way over there. So that's not gonna work. Plus, I don't know where the heck you'd put the battery in this guitar, even though this guitar is routed for Nashville stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and do a normal Nashville setup with the Dylan Talks Tone Nashville setup. That you can buy on the website. And the only other thing that we're going to do a little different is we're going to put that Firebird pickup in there. But no hyper switch on this, which sort of bums me out because that would have been very cool. But is what it is. Let's keep going. Hopefully you dug that. It's pretty cool. This is our flat 6 Tele pickup, and in the set that we sell on the internet, we don't sell the mini humbucker, the Firebird pickup in the set, but the set that you would get is our flat 6 Tele pickups on the outside, and then a specially wound strat for this set that we put in the middle, and then you can actually get this same wiring scheme with the cap and the pots and the switch and all that stuff with it. There's a little drop down box where you can select that stuff if this is something that you want to do to your Telecaster. Otherwise, if you just want to get one of these here Firebird pickups and stick it in the neck position of your Tele, I think that's very cool too. It really gives it a very unique sound. It's not a full humbucker, but it's not single coil either. It's not even P90. It's just got its own kind of flavor, which I really think is cool. So we did that. Of course, we replaced the nut in this particular guitar with a Graphtec Tusk XL. We put a set of Stringjoy strings on it. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty killer. This thing is really neat guitar now. Now, some of you might be like, I wanted to see a before and after. I wanted to see comparison. So here's the thing about this. Some people get on my case because I don't do A/B tests. Some people get on my case because I mod cheap guitars. Some people get on my case because I mod an expensive guitar that doesn't need to be modded. But here's the thing. I don't care. We're having fun. The whole idea of this was to change it up completely, make it completely something it was not, for the most part, which is what we did. I really wanted to use that hyper switch by Seymour Duncan in here, but it just would not fit. So it is what it is. But it was still a really fun project, and I think we got a very unique Telecaster, and something that I think the owner of this Telecaster, again, a Patreon member, who we arranged this with, Chris, I think he's really going to dig this guitar for the purposes that he uses it for. So, you know, you don't have to have a good reason to mod your guitar. You can just do it for fun. And when you change things so much that an A/B test doesn't matter, then I don't care about it. You can go listen to these guitars all over the internet and hear what they sound like to begin with. So there you go. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all the things that you normally do. Really trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. So please hit the subscribe button. 60% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. Thank you again to my Patreon supporters and the ones that hit the little join button down there. We've got some special content coming for you this week. We had some last week. We've actually got some stuff now on Patreon that's never actually ever going to be on YouTube. So just FYI, it's never going to make it over here. So there is some totally exclusive stuff happening over there. And I think you'll dig that as well. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you tomorrow for the podcast.